Good morning everyone, my name's Craig Sutton from Shire Council, and we're really pleased to be joined this morning by Inspector Matthews from the Murrumbidgee Police District and Officer in charge of the Shire. Inspector Matthews has agreed to answer some of the questions that our community members have sent in, and we might just fire away if that's okay.
Sure.
Okay, the first question that came in, are we allowed to leave the Shire, and if so, on what grounds?
I think the only reason you would need to leave the Shire is for a medical appointment. The whole thing we're trying to get everyone to do is to stay at home. There's 4 exemptions for when you can leave home. It's to go grocery shopping, to go to a medical appointment, to go to work if you can't work anywhere else, can't work from home, sorry, and for exercise. Exercising, shopping, and generally work can all be done in the Shire. You might have a specialist appointment, so the only reason I could see you need to leave the Shire is to go to an urgent medical appointment.
So that's pretty clear cut. Which brings me to the next question. Can I travel outside the Shire to visit my partner, or can my partner come here to visit me?
Unfortunately, I'd say no to that. There is an exemption that allows you to see your partner, but however, the whole point of what we're trying to do is to stop the spread of the virus. By going long distances outside the Shire, it's just going to be too much of a chance or too much of a risk by going a long distance, particularly if you go to an area where the virus is known to be. And I would put this, particularly the Shire, which I believe doesn't have any infections at the moment. If people start to suspect that your partner came here and they're the one, and the virus starts appearing, and they're the ones, whether they brought it here or they suspected of bringing it here, do you want to be the person who lives with that? So, no visits outside the Shire.
So again, fairly clear there. Can you go for a drive or ride a registered motorbike?
No.
Easy. Am I able to assist my parents who live in my local area to mow the lawns, provided we adhere to social distancing?
Yes, you are. But please don't use this as an excuse to visit your parents. If your parents are able-bodied people who can mow their own lawn and look after themselves, then there's no need to go and mow their lawn. If you're just using it as an excuse, I'd say no, but if your parents need assistance, yes, you can.
Okay, next one, thank you very much. Are we allowed to assist an immediate family member to pack up a property in town outside my local area? So in other words, if a family member has a property outside of town and their lease expires, can you go and assist them to move their furniture out?
Yes, you are, as long as you only use the amount of people that it's necessary to complete the task. So again, let's not look for loopholes. The whole point of the exercise is to keep people at home and to stop the spread of the virus. So those essential jobs, obviously if this person's lease is expiring and they have to move out of the house, clearly it's essential. And if they need to lift furniture, they're going to need some assistance. But only the people that need to go to assist. Don't use this as another chance to find a loophole to go on a visit to someone.
So don't bring your 102-year-old grandmother to move a lounge,
Correct.
For instance. Can myself and immediate family drive to a state forest to go for a hike or a trail bike ride?
No.
Am I able to ride my horse as exercise or kayak at the wetlands?
No. I just go to the exercise is an exemption, but what we're trying to do is allow people just to go outside and go for a walk and get some fresh air. That can be done walking around the block of your house or close by to your house. It's not, again, an excuse to go on a big long trip, so you can just go and do what you like.
Can my children walk their dogs if they don't interact with anybody?
Yes.
Am I allowed to take animals to the abattoirs or sale yards?
Yes.
If myself and immediate family are going fishing on a private property within our local area, can we also camp there?
No.
I think that's been pretty clear in all the rules as well, hasn't it? Can myself and immediate family go to a friend's farm to cut wood for our home fireplace?
Yes, you can, as long as you have no interaction with the family's farm that you're going to. Cutting firewood is an essential thing to keep your house warm. We understand that, so it'd be classed as an essential activity. However, again, don't use this as an excuse to go and catch up with someone, and only take the amount of people you need to cut the firewood. I know a lot of people like to take their families to cut forward and have a campfire going and have a lunch. Go and cut the firewood and come home, and don't camp.
Right. 1 day trip only.
Yes.
Are local businesses allowed to bring external service providers and staff into the Bland Shire to perform work-related activities?
If it's an essential activity that no one else locally is able to do, yes, you can.
Yep. What about, there's a lot of questions about caring for children and things like that. Are grandparents or other people still allowed to care for children while a parent or parents are working?
Yes, they can, but people need to consider exposing elderly people to young children. A lot of the stuff has shown that children in particular can be asymptomatic. In other words, they show no symptoms whatsoever. However, they have the virus. You run the risk if your elderly parents looking after your children and potentially giving them the virus. However, well, I appreciate that if you need to work and no one there to look after your children, then you may have no other option, but you need to consider the risks that are involved in that.
And what about a family friend? Could they come in potentially, a younger family friend that could come in and potentially look after the children while you're at work?
If they're specifically coming to babysit while you're going to work as an essential activity, yes, they can.
Yep. This is a specific question that came in, Inspector. My daughter has 4 children under 6. Am I able to help her care for them as her partner works and isn't always able to shop or look after the kids so that she can shop?
I'd give the same answer as the last one. If you're happy for an older person to be exposed to young children, then that's a matter for yourself. However, I would argue also it's better not to take 4 young children to a shop to go shopping. So it would be more prudent for someone who lives close by to come and look after the children. But again, only in essential situations, when you're not to use it as a chance for the kids to visit the grandmother or any other friend for that matter. We are trying to restrict the movement of people to stop the spread of the virus. So we're getting a lot of people who are looking for loopholes, but in this exact example, if you're purely doing it to go to work or go to the shops, then that would be okay.
Yep. I was under the impression that one person could visit another person or family in their home. But I've been told by others this is not the case, and the only time you can go out is for essentials such as groceries, work or exercise. Are you able to provide some clarification on that?
You are not allowed to visit someone. No social visits, no coffees, no going around for a beer. Plain and simple. The only exemptions to going out at all, and the question talks about those, groceries, work, exercise, and the other one is medical. They're the only 4 reasons that you're allowed to go out. Otherwise, you need to stay at home and not have your friends over.
Fairly clear, stay at home unless you absolutely have to, and maybe we need to stop looking for loopholes and things like that. And
Stop looking for loopholes, stay at home and only go out for those 4 reasons. And even then, only if you need to go out for those 4 things. Go for a 1 day, shop once a week. Don't shop every day. Stay at home and we stop the spread of the virus, and hopefully the sooner we do that we can lift the restrictions. But we're doing this now, and you've only got to look at places like Italy and Spain, the UK and America, where they didn't put the restrictions in place early enough, and look what's happening there. We appear to be doing it right and it's working, and I encourage people to keep doing that.
And of course, this will go on longer and longer and longer the more people that don't comply.
Correct, it'll drag out.
Just 2 more questions, Inspector. Can you drop home a work colleague after a night shift?
As long as it's in the same town that you're going to. If in West Wyalong you're possibly saying coming from Lake Cowal returning to West Wyalong, no problem. If you live in West Wyalong and your friend lives in another town, I'd say no.
Yep.
Again, restricting the movement of travel.
And finally, we've had a couple of questions regarding hunting. Is hunting permitted?
No, except on your own property.
Yep, and that applies to professional hunters as well?
Correct. You cannot have a professional hunter come to your property.
Excellent. Well, I think that's the end of our sort of questions today. Again, I thank you so much for joining us and answering these questions to give us all a bit of clarity heading into Easter. Of course, the rules can change on not only a daily but an hourly basis. So this is a guide and a guide only. Just keep an eye on all of the relevant websites, apps, public information that's out there. But the key message, once again, is just stay at home.
Correct. If you don't need to go somewhere, don't go.
Don't go. Thank you so much.
Thank you.